Okay, guys, in this part of the lesson, we're going to learn to simplify a proper fraction by using the GCF. So we remember that the GCF is the greatest common factor. Now, you need to know, in order to do this, what factors are. Factors are the numbers that we multiply together to get a product. So if I want to do 2 times 4, 2 is a factor and 4 is a factor. The product is 8. So I can say that 2 and 4 are factors of 8. Let's try one more. If I want to do 6 times 3 is 18, 6 is a factor and 3 is a factor of 18. Now we can use this to write fractions in their simplest terms. In other words, make this look smaller so that it has the least number of pieces and we can understand it better. So we're going to practice this. There are only 2 steps to this, just 2, okay? So the first step, let's say that we added or we multiplied or subtracted a fraction, and this was our answer. And we know that these are pretty good size numerator and denominator, so we know that most likely it can be simplified. So I'm going to test it. I'm going to see if they have any common factors. Now for me, I like to do this with an easy t-chart. Okay? And I'm going to do a t-chart for 12. And I'm going to, whoops, I should have left a little more room here. I'm going to do a t-chart for 24. And I'm just going to start thinking of all the factors I can think of that will equal 12. Well, for sure I know 1 times 12. 12 is an even number, so I better do 2. I know that's 6. And I know 3 times 4. These are the factors of 12. Okay? Now I'm going to go to my t-chart for 24. I know that every number has a factor of 1 and itself. I see it's even, so it must have a factor of 2, and I know that's times 12. If I look in my 3's, I'll see that, there is a 24 in there, and that's 3 times 8. And in my 4's, I have 4 times 6. Now, what I'm going to do is start with the biggest one, okay? So when I look at this, I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to say, well, I see that 24 had an 8, but 12 did not. So 8 is not going to be a common factor, okay? I see that 24 has a 24. That's not there. I see that, oh, wait, this one has a 12, and so does this one. My greatest common factor is 12. There's a 12 in the 12s, and there's a 12 in the 24s. So the next step, the second step, is I've got to divide the numerator by my greatest common factor, and I have to divide the denominator by my greatest common factor. So I'm just going to do that. My greatest common factor was 12. Okay? So I know that 12 divided by 12 is 1. And I know that 24 divided by 12, 24 divided by 12 is 2. Oh, so this big old fraction of 12 24ths is really just the same as 1/2. Okay, let's try another one together, and then I'm going to have you move to the next slide and have you do a game with simplifying proper fractions. Okay, so let's look at 6/27. When I look at it, I'm going to move this down just a little bit. When I look at 6/27, I know that it is not improper, but I have to check to see if it happens to be a proper fraction that needs to be simplified. Now, if they don't have any common factors at all, it doesn't need to be. But if they have any common factors, that means this can be simplified. So again, I'm going to do my 2 t-charts. I'm going to do a t-chart for 6. And I'm going to do a t-chart for 27. Okay? So when I do my T-chart for 6, I'm going to think of all the things I could multiply together to get 6. Well, every number can be multiplied by 1 to get itself. So 6 has 1 and 6. It's even, so it's got to be 2 times something. It's 2 times 3. Those are my factors for 6. I'm going to go over here to 27. I'll do 1 times 27. It's not an even number, so it doesn't have a factor of 2. Let me think. Is there anything times 3 to get 27? Yeah. 3 times 9. Those are my only factors of 27. Having a multiplication chart with you will really help you because you can look at the multiplication chart and see where 27 appears. All right, so now I've got to find the greatest common factor. Well, here's the biggest number I see, but no, they both don't have a 27. Then I see a 9. No, there's no 9 over here. Well, I see a 3, and this one has a 3. That's my greatest common factor. Step 2, I'm going to divide the numerator by 3, and I'm going to divide the denominator by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. That's great. And 27 divided by 3 is 9. Oh, so 6 27s is really equivalent to 2 ninths. All right, so the next time you're going to try it, please make sure you use your multiplication chart if you need it, and please make sure you use paper, okay, so that you can practice this.